Hey, what's up, everyone? I just thought I'd make a background of the lamp, the smart light I have over there with the red color to it. I decided I would just use that as the background for this video. I want to talk about something. I'm tired of people not realizing and not opening their eyes. They're not opening their eyes to what's really going on, opening their mind, their brain. The so-called woke community is just as blind and deaf and just completely asleep to anything that's going on. During the previous administration, I'm talking Mr. T, there were fewer shootings, gang violence, and murder than I've ever seen in my entire life. During the one before him, no idea what that was on the camera there, but during the one before him, there was murder, kill. It was just terrorist attacks and violence and threats from foreign leaders and countries. Guess what? The moment this administration has taken over, that was forced in there, by the way, put in there, by the way, guess what happened? Immediately there began to be shootings, constant murders. Just yesterday, I heard about all day long there was this mall shooting. The day before that, multiple people got shot in a random shooting. Multiple Asian people being shot across the country. Multiple people just suddenly deciding to just across this world even, just randomly do just stupid shootings. Is it mind control? Is there something going on where people are being... I mean, I don't know. And then there's this crisis. They finally admitted on all the news outlets, a crisis at the border. Criminals have come over once again. On day one, they undid every piece of legislation, even the good ones that was done. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. You don't undo the good things that were done whether you like someone or don't like them. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. There was legislation put in place that kept out major crime, major violence, and the dumbest pieces of legislation you'd ever heard of regarding regulations and rules were all in place now. They're all back in place. And I, for one, am tired of seeing the shootings. Just this morning, I heard about this bus filled with a bunch of passengers. A bus filled with passengers randomly just hit and killed someone in Clayton County. Now, I don't know whether or not, but I mean, it's just, they can't seem to realize that every time that the current type of leadership we've got in office right now is in office, there's so many murders, so many deaths, so many shootings. Oh, it was rogue shooters. We've got to do something about the gun violence. Did you see gun violence happening that often during the previous administration? No, you didn't. You didn't see that often. As a matter of fact, there was a major dip in the amount of gun violence from this president, this previous president, I mean, Mr. T, compared to the previous one. During the previous administration, there were so many cases, so many thousands of cases of rogue shooters, and so many cases of mass shootings, and they were working on gun legislation because of that reason. During the previous administration, he said, you do something like that, you're finished. And you didn't see it. They also put regulations against violent video games during the previous administration. Now, you see evil and darkness being infiltrated back into the shows and the media. You see, once again, the dark powers have gotten their power back, and you see, once again, you see this, all the gun violence and the violent games promoted and everything once again. Now, I, for one, I'm the kind of person, I played a mobile game on the phone. I think it was like Gun Shoot War or something like that, or I think it was like Sniper, and I played a mobile game for a while, and you killed terrorists, and I think there was like a zombie in there every once in a while. That was it. You killed terrorists. You shot terrorists, and I have no ambition to do any stupid thing like that. I've watched action movies before. Many times I've watched action movies. I have no ambition to do anything like that. I don't understand the people that can't separate themselves from the world of fiction and the world of reality of what, life and movies and TV and games or whatever they do. Whatever it is, form of medias or videos, whatever. I don't see the people who can watch something and suddenly want to carry out those acts of violence. I don't get that. I don't understand it. You must be very weak-minded perception to be able to just want to just carry out those kinds of acts once you see them, those violent acts. For one, I held a door open for this Hispanic person when they smiled. They were like, "Wow, thank you." And I held the door open for these black people, and I talked to these black people. Just randomly started talking to me. They do it all the time. This Asian man who didn't look conceited. Now, if you're conceited and stuck up and all this stuff, I held the door open for him. He was kind. And he said, "Wow, thank you, sir. Bless you." And just stopped and just was shocked. And then you see, there's a bunch of anti-Asian violence and random violence and crimes happening. Now, when they go in and they buy up all of our cities and buy up all the towns and the land and start building on it and act like they're better than thou and conceited when they act like they're better than you are, I don't care for those individuals at all. Any kind of people that do that. I've seen that too much as well. But when you've got, and the people who are given everything, the ones that come over and they're given every single thing, but I'm telling you, what I'm seeing right now is a rise in violence and gun violence, which fits their agenda for the people to have taken away from them the weapons for protection. I for one have never had I've never had the urge to even, or the thought to even harm another human being, innocent human being. I don't understand those that do. Secondly, I want to say that all the violence that you're seeing now on the rise is the exact same thing that was going on during the previous Democratic leadership. How can people not see it? The rule of evil causing these massive violent acts to take place. Once again, you're seeing random cases of people, just the rise of people eating people again. They're talking about growing you can grow your, this is true, you look this up, take your pieces of your skin and you can grow it and eat it, cook it and eat it. Your own skin in order to grow and eat human meat. Consume human flesh and human meat. Cook it. You can cook it now. Have it grown in a lab and cook it and eat it. They said there's a service they've now made that's like that. But they said it doesn't constitute as cannibalism because you're eating your cell. And it's grown from your meat. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. And that's the kind of thing that was starting during the previous from 2009 to 2016. That's the thing that was going on and being promoted. That and cannibalism and zombies and violence and death and evil and dark and creatures and the devil and dark rituals and black magic, and this sounds like nut job stuff. They try to make it seem as though we're talking nut job stuff, but no, it's not. And then you see the Illuminati symbolism played out at the award shows and mass rituals. People think you're crazy for talking about it, but you see it. You see it, and then you can't deny it when you see it. You see what's happening. But then you see these massive mass shootings and murders and death, constant. Come on, people. And all the supposed deaths from what was going on this past year Who knows? Maybe that was a mass ritual. I don't know. But here's the thing about it. You see it. I can see it with my own eyes. I see all this stuff playing out, and there all these random acts of violence that you're seeing again. People just, it was the whole BLM movement, and then now it's transitioned to, oh, let's march in the streets, and people are harming Asians now. There's another reason to get riled up. I'm tired of people being so blind to the fact that they're always stirring something up so they can create more control. Control out of chaos by keeping us divided instead of united. But if people are too blind to see that, I'm sorry. I'm at a loss for words. When Bill Maher makes more sense than anyone else in his ending segments, his little segments, we're in bad shape. We're in trouble. Bill Maher's recent videos I saw on YouTube recommended about the woke community being so stupid made sense. I mean, I'm just saying. I don't agree with his beliefs and what he says. Well, non-beliefs, I should say, and what he says about certain things and topics, but I agree with those facts, those statements. Other people do in the comments as well. But when you see all of this violence, all of this bloodshed, you see this rise in random acts of violence once again and mass shootings. What was going on from 2009 to 2016? Cannibalism, people going randomly crazy, super strength, strange drugs got infiltrated into the United States from overseas, from Asia and Mexico, Flocka. People were eating people and going crazy with superhuman strength. It's true, you can look it up. They couldn't kill them, they couldn't die, and then they finally got them down, some of them. Didn't hear anything about that during the previous administration. He kept it down. He stopped all of that. Mr. T. There were much less random acts of violence and murder during the previous presidency, previous administration. These heinous acts of random mass shootings and crap. Now, it's ramped back up again. It's ramped up again, just as we knew it would. Alright, my ramble's over for a little while, but how can people be so blind who claim to be so awake? How can people be so asleep who claim to be so awake? It's sad. Research it, look it up. Peace. Signing out. I've noticed it. I see it. It's more obvious than ever. Much love, everyone. Signing out. Spread love. Spread love. Spread love. Links below for support.